Hey guys, so I haven't recorded any videos in a while. I noticed one thing that kind of comes up in questions that I thought I might make a video and answer is my speech impediment. I'm not sure if I would quite call it a speech impediment. I'm not used to calling it a speech impediment, but if I'm not paying enough attention, I'll start speaking to the right side of my mouth. And it looks ugly as fuck, but I can't control it. I've been trying to my whole life. Like, I remember when I first started to notice it, I was about 6 years old, and I tried so hard through the years to control it, because everybody at my school was just mean. But anyways, I couldn't control it, and I guess it's never going to be controllable. It just is easier for me to do it. For people who are wondering why I do it in the first place and don't know, I was born with, I believe it was meningitis. My mom told me this, and she's not here anymore, so she knows more about it. Anyways, she told me it was meningitis. I was in the hospital 2 weeks after I was born, and I was hospitalized for, I have no clue, I guess a couple weeks, maybe a month or two, maybe longer. Nobody went into details other than, "We're so happy you're alive, you're a miracle, baby." There was apparently there was like some medical thing, and there was 5 babies who survived from it, and only 2 of them survived without brain damage, and I was one of them. I don't exactly understand how or why. Obviously, it was the 90s, so maybe we weren't as far along with medicine as we should have been. They assumed that it caused me being deaf in my left ear. But we did not discover that I was deaf until I was about 3, maybe 4. The only thing that I'd notice is difference, I'd suck up broken telephone. My dad realized this when I was 3 or 4, when he took me to, I believe it was Toy Story, and I constantly would turn my head like this. He eventually took me to a ear doctor. I'm not sure exactly what doctor you go to see about that. I've only been to a hearing specialist. There we go. I've only been to a hearing specialist 3 or 4 times in my life, because the first few times we went, we realized that there was absolutely no hearing out of that ear. No hearing aids would help. We just left it at that. Honestly, I'm not all that concerned. The only thing that annoys me about it is that nobody can whisper in that ear. I have a headphone that just hangs there, and I don't know. I'm okay with it. I don't like the speech impediment caused from it, but I don't have an issue with hearing loss. I don't have an issue with hearing. I find that it kind of has strengthened some aspects of talking with people, because I won't be able to hear what they're saying, but I mean, for all I know, if I had both ears, I might just be dumb and not be able to hear what they're saying. But at least it gives me kind of the thought to think of. I go through like a dictionary in my mind, and like, okay, words that rhyme with whatever I thought they said, and then I place it in the sentence, and yada yada yada. I figure out what they said if I can't understand exactly what they said. It's just come to me over time. You have to work with it, because you don't want to be that person that says, "What? Excuse me? What? Excuse me? Sorry, I didn't hear that. Wait, can you tell me one more time?" And I think the one thing that I find particularly interesting about my hearing loss is that although I'm deaf in one ear, I have numerous people telling me, "What? You're not speaking loud enough." I guess I'm a quiet talker in the first place, so that maybe doesn't help. But that could also be why I am speaking to the right side of my mouth. I still have an ear there, so I just feel like it's aesthetic. It's like, look at this thing. It absolutely does nothing. And for those of you who don't know, I find it even funnier. I don't know, I find things funny that aren't absolutely not funny. I don't know what to say. Funny, interesting, pleasing. My mom, my dad, or somebody got my ears pierced when I was like 2 or 3. And then my mom gave me butterfly earrings and stuff that were dangling. My ears started stretching. By the time I was 13, my ears were at an 8 gauge. I started to stretch them on my own because they were already at an 8 gauge and earrings weren't staying in. Plugs were. Then eventually, because I guess my ears weren't stretching the proper way, they were stretching by a very thin earring, just like a 16 gauge. No, 18 gauge, just pulling it down. So that just, I don't know, it deteriorated and it got really bad, and I have like no flesh because between the 18 gauge dragging it down and then me stretching it afterwards when it wasn't the right type of skin to stretch, apparently, was just a bad idea. And now, like, I remember when I was 14, 15 maybe, this ear ripped. Now it looks like a little Pac-Man thing. I just flipped my hair over and have kept it like that since. Kind of like it better anyways, because I like to turn my head like this for photos, if you haven't already noticed. You know, everybody has like that obsession with one angle of their face. If I'm wearing one headphone, then everybody thinks that I can hear them through the other ear. So I'd be walking down the street and then I'll have somebody trying to have a conversation with me. I don't even know it. I mean, I try not to look at the people who are looking at me. It kind of happens that people stare at you if you have colored hair or just look different. I mean, they're there. They're in their eyesight and it's different. I can't get mad. But I don't know that somebody's having a conversation with me because I don't try to just stare at people who are staring at me. I don't care. But nonetheless, in the end, I feel kind of shitty because somebody is trying to say something to me and I just completely ignored them. And sometimes because I can't say it's because of where I live, but there aren't enough people in this city. I'll have a jerk or two just go off on me thinking that I am ignoring them when no, I am in fact half deaf and one headphone is all I need. We were like 13, 14, when we may have started wearing iPod headphones, our ears can actually fit them. If you've never put one in your ear and you're like 23, but with the head size of head size of a 12-year-old, then it doesn't necessarily work. It's the reason that I can't necessarily wear like stereo headphones or whatever all the time. They don't always fit my head. I have to wear kids' hats. This wig is a very custom size. And even though it's a custom size, I still have the clips done at the back to like the maximum tightening. I'm really bad with words. Like, not even today, just in general, so don't mind me. All those secrets I never heard. All those games of broken telephone that just didn't work. All those surround sound headphones that just didn't actually sound surround. All those concerts that blow up my eardrums twice as easily. All those phone calls I missed because I thought my phone was on the right side of my house. I don't know. But, okay. Oh, you a burger. Oh, cool. You knotted yourself inside my wig. I don't know what you did there, but cool. You got creases in your eyes. You're not even a human. How do you get creases in your eyes? Like, what? Like, comment, and subscribe. And I've got mustard on my leg.